One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice.
Welcome to the One Mic, One Voice show, building the collective conscience, a show that is created to give space where your voice, ideas, and informed opinions can be heard, appreciated, and debated. I am Michael Eric Owen.
And yo, man, it's glad to be back on the mic. I'm your boy, DT.
DT.
And,
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's been a while, man.
Yes.
You've been out traveling and being a globetrotter and whatnot.
You know, we will definitely have to get into where my footprints have been, so to speak. But man, I just want to just dive right into something.
All right. Well,
first of all, welcoming all our listeners from around the world.
I tried to ease you guys in, but you know, as it goes, here we go.
Here we go. Strap up. You know, but this guy, and I don't even want to really get into what his name is, and you know, this story now has went viral on this black barber in Oklahoma City that has allowed for a white gentleman to come into his establishment and to request a particular haircut.
Oh, yes. Number 5.
Number 5, please, on the menu. A particular haircut that is the symbol of the Confederate flag in his head. Now, first of all, you know, okay, let's just go and let the news tell the story, and then we'll come back.
It's a post that's gone viral. A Confederate flag shaved into this man's head by the hands of a black barber.
I was thinking that it was some racist type stuff, but you know, as he sit down and I was doing it, and he talked to me the whole time, and he explained to me why he was doing it. But he was a really cool guy, and I didn't feel like he was racist at all. DeMontre
Hurd says the man wanted the Confederate flag for a reason.
When he came in, he explained to me that it was because of his favorite rapper.
It's a haircut other barbers in his shoes may not have handled so well, but this shop is different.
If you're white, Asian, Mexican, black, Puerto Rican, whatever, if you sit in my chair and I cut your hair, I hope I leave you with the best haircut that you get, and I hope that you come back.
The owner of the business, Corey Sutter, or Scissorhands, says his place is an open door, and he doesn't get caught up in politics.
When they came in, you know, we kind of thought it was odd, you know, like, really? But, like, with me and my barber crew, we're so far past racism. We know it exists, but we don't pay it no attention, because once you start paying attention to the problem, it's like they've won.
He even posted the photo on Facebook where reactions were endless, many people condemning his shop for allowing the haircut.
The thing that's really bothering me, no matter how it may look to someone and them getting upset about it, this is what we do for a living. We providing a service for this person. And that's what we're supposed to do. Yeah, we could have denied it. Yes, we could have acted a fool and, you know, talked bad to him, try to fight him or anything like that. But he came in, he came in respectful, he wanted in.
Barber Bofield stands behind his co-worker's decision.
I'm proud because, I mean, it's a business, and he knew where to come to get what he wanted, and that's what we do here. And we all have families, and we all have bills, and I support him.
Even customers have his back.
We have to be positive about the situation. We can't fuel into the fire. I mean, that's just going to add to what's going to go happen, what's going on in the world today. So it's a beautiful thing that these guys are doing what they're doing.
Okay, DT, like, you know, just a couple of things, because this is real, like, disturbing to me.
Yeah.
I mean, as a black man, and as not just as a black man, right? And folks, we got a show, but stay with us here, because this right here, it's got to be talked about. As a black man, not only as a black man, but I consider myself to be historian, consider myself to understand our past journey and what we have come through and the challenges thereof and how they relate to us now and how they still plague us now. And this is, let me just say some of the things that I heard coming from that video. We do not get caught up in politics. Okay. The man's got a business. Politics govern your business, but he don't get caught up in politics, right? Okay. Politics govern the taxes you pay, right? The relationships in politics govern your life each and every day. We are so past racism.
Mm-hmm. We don't even think about it around here.
Let's go on down the road a little bit and let's ask Terrence Crutcher's family about that. Let's take a flight to Minneapolis and speak to Philando Castile's mother, right? Matter of fact, let's go a little bit farther to South Carolina and talk to Walter Scott's family. And you want to sit up here and tell me you are so past racism? Where you at? I don't know. Was racism behind you? Because you have a barbershop? You are what? A success? We should look up to you because you have a barbershop? No, brother, you did this to yourself. You on the table now. We stirring you up. You are the ingredients today. Because, man, I'm hot over this, man. This is foolishness. Okay. Let me go on. If you pay attention to the problem.
Yeah, that was the funny one to me.
They have won. What is that? What does that mean?
That'd be that. Man, this is really not funny, you know, but it's like, wow, you know, how could you be so ignorant? I was listening to this with some older people. Mm-hmm. And the first thing she said after the boy said, you know, we don't think about the problem. You know, as soon as you start focusing on the problem, that's when they won. The first thing the elder lady said to the TV is, boy, that don't even make sense. And it's like, you know, really, if we're focusing on problems, isn't that how we come to solutions?
Exactly.
You know, isn't focusing on the problem like kind of like how we fix problems.
So we're in denial and we have won.
Be in denial, be oblivious.
Yeah. I'm in denial, right? And I have won, right? My head is stuck in the sand and I have won. No, the problem is that we're not focusing on the right problem. And when that young man walked into your establishment, and don't get me wrong, the owner did not do the haircut, but he condoned it, right? Didn't condemn it. He condoned it, got behind it, supported it, and then got his 15 minutes of fame on TV, right? When the boy walked in, number one, there's a problem. If I'm a barbershop owner, a black barbershop owner, and a white man think he can walk into my shop and get basically the KKK, because that's equal to the Confederate flag, in his head, something wrong with my shop. Number one, you're not going to even come up in my shop because of the way I represent myself, right?
Had to be some moral standard.
Thank you. Now, if you get up in my shop because you're so foolish, okay. Then I'm just going to tell you like this. Look here, young man. I'm not going to see this is what we could have acted like a fool. So in other words, if you deny it, if you are righteously upset about it with righteous anger about it, right? Because you recognize the history, you recognize that black and brown folk were hung while this flag waved in the background, how this flag was used to intimidate black people, right? You would understand that, not in here. Okay. So carry on. Nice joke, right? Yeah, okay. But really, carry on. Cause he probably back there. Look what I got them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Look what I got them to do. I can't believe them.
Some type of initiation.
For analytical purpose. I can't believe them. Look what these niggas did. Look what I got them to do.
I told you they believe it.
See? I got it
What's
done.
funny though is like he said that he went in there and, of course the guy was nice and polite and everything. And he said that the reason behind it was because he wanted to honor his favorite rapper. Now, I mean, I consider myself a fan of hip hop music.
Yeah.
Although I don't know the Confederate Flag rapper. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out who's the guy with the Confederate flag. It's like even people who know hip hop or rap music would be like, you know what, man, I wonder or they would know automatically that it was Justified. Like, Kendrick, he like to carry the Confederate flag around. So, right. I mean, I can get that. Okay, he doing the Kendrick thing, but nobody that I know of or anybody else I know of knows this Confederate Flag rapper.
Well, folks, we want to hear from you. If you are,
we got a few comments though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come in. We definitely want to hear from you.
All right. George Thomas says, poor judgment in my opinion. If he felt as if he did it for good reason, why make a Facebook post?
Thank you.
Attention seeking. I'm not going to attack him though. If you are filled with pride, then you will have no room for wisdom.
Facebook post. Because he did it for publicity.
Derek Nav says, if you were well versed on American history, then you would know it was a poor decision. That was and still is a proud symbol of white supremacy in the Old South. It is still used as a form of propaganda. The guy getting it because of the rapper is BS.
Exactly.
Exactly. Who is this Confederate rapper? Still trying to. All right, Al James says, it was poor judgment for a white man to come into a black establishment and request a Confederate flag to be cut into his head shows malicious intent to me. That was a blatant act of disrespect.
Wow. Blatant act of disrespect. Just to come in. Hold on a second. Okay. I got it now. I've been thinking of this. That's like me going to a white barber shop and saying, I want them to carve in my head. Well, no, not carve, because they probably would carve, right? But cut into my head or give me a design in my head of the Black Power fist, right? Okay. Yeah. Let me go in there, right? Or better yet, let me go in there and have them put something that's offensive to them on my head. I don't think it would happen. Elisa said, I think he may have done the haircut for the business. Some people have done many questionable things for money.
Oh, yeah.
Yet, was he doing it to prevent an issue? I personally would have sent him on his way. That's Eliza said that. Yeah, I agree. He did it for publicity and for money. I mean, that's the thing. What will you
Does this
do
drive
for money?
business up? Does this help the sales? Does this
I'm gonna
help
tell you
to
like
promote
this.
diversity and equality in the
I'm gonna
barbershop?
tell you like this. Where I'm from, this is unheard of. Now, again, I don't want to say this is a Oklahoma thing. Don't want to say that because then folks get mad at me. I live in Oklahoma. I'm part of Oklahoma now, but I can guarantee you, I can guarantee you that no one would come to the north side of Milwaukee or the south side of Chicago and walk into a black establishment and request that. They might, but they will not leave that location because of respect. This is unwise. And for the people that are saying it is just business, for the people that are saying, it's you are giving a service to someone. For the people that are just simply saying, I have families, I have this. You know what? If a man won't stand for something, he'll stand for everything. That's what this is. If you won't stand up on principle against something that is so blatantly obvious, I mean, we don't even have to, man, there are states that have taken down this flag because of his horrific history and because of the implications it still have in the face of people today. But you yourself, black man, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Black man.
Nobody should frequent that business. I'm going to be honest with you. If you are that ignorant and you write me, come on the show. I invite, matter of fact, let me say this. I invite the owner to come on the show. Come on the show. Give your piece. Debate with me. Debate with DT. We would love to have you on the show. Come on the show, baby. Because what I'm saying, what you did was foolish. You are on the table, my friend, serving you up. I don't know, D. I don't know, man. I could go on and on, man.
I mean, obviously the situation is strange, right? I mean, obviously it's really taking a lot of us out of element of sanity to even have to explain to him why it was so bad of a choice to make. You know, it's like, really, how, I mean, because honestly though, you know, if you even think back, like most people don't know about, we talked about symbols and psychology behind symbolism. And like, that's deeper than people really understand. And I think without that knowledge, you're subjected to do anything, you know, that you don't really see the long-term implications of it still being a problem.
Maybe he needs, you know, a history lesson.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe class needs to be in session or something. I don't know. But anyway, folks, it happened in Oklahoma City. Publicity and money
all around the world, man.
Hey, it's the image of
and you know, people already think bad of me. It's like they think hooded folks are walking around here, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
In the midday.
It shows no backbone. And if you and how much you say you think the brother paid for the haircut?
Probably about $30.
Man, come on. Sell your soul.
I mean, but it wasn't even really a nice haircut though, if you want to just be honest.
Well, that's a whole nother point. That might be getting into his business model. But the thing about it is, is poor judgment. And like I say, folks, you can disagree with me when it comes to this. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care. Folks, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Taplin, host of Blackest Studios The Black Box. Join Elijah Bailey and myself as we interview entrepreneurs as they share their stories of passion and how it motivates them to strive forward. We also explore new topics on self-improvement. If you want to listen to our show, simply search Blackened Studios on iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, or Stitcher. And be sure to follow us at Blackened Studios on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you want to catch all the shows that record here at Blackened Studios, simply go to the website, blackenedstudios.com. And remember, it's Blackened.
This is Josh K.
And I am Leah Marie.
And when we listen to podcasts, we always listen to One Mic, One Voice. You can change the world, it's your choice.
Your choice.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back, man. And man, we appreciate our comments, man.
Did you take a deep breath during the break?
Oh, I did, man.
Okay.
I took a very
make
short,
sure everything balanced,
deep breath. But we appreciate our comments, man. I mean, and week after week, man, just give a shout out, you know, to Elijah for listening to the show, you know, giving her input, which is greatly appreciated, man. We have to do something for the folks that are always connected and always staying in tune with the One Mic, One Voice show.
Oh man, the stuff that we've sent out already, fans are going wild.
Well, you crazy. We're going to get into our show, folks, today. And in our show today, if you didn't have the opportunity to, because I think we posted something a little bit earlier about the show, but our title is Were You Taught to Love or Hate? Were you taught to love or hate? And we're really dealing with symbolic interaction theory, interactionism. And this is a video that kind of sets it up for us. And in this video, there's a white gentleman jogging, and he runs across an Asian lady that is stretching. So she's getting ready to jog. He runs past her because you can't see the visual. If you're a Patreon customer, you can, but he runs past. And then, and if you're not a Patreon customer, I'm going to tell you, sign up at patreon.com/OneMicOneVoice. You can follow our show notes and everything else as we are live with the show. But the white gentleman run past her, sees her, turns around, comes back, and starts this conversation. So remember, social interaction.
Hi there.
Hi.
Nice day, huh?
Yeah, finally, right?
Where are you from? Your English is perfect.
San Diego. We speak English there.
Oh, no. Where are you from?
Well, I was born in Orange County, but I never actually lived there.
I mean before that.
Before I was born.
Yeah, like, where are your people from?
Well, my great-grandma was from Seoul.
Korean. I knew it. I was like, she's either Japanese or Korean. But I was leaning more towards Korean.
Amazing.
Hamshasina. There's a really good teriyaki barbecue place near my apartment. So I actually really like kimchi.
Cool. What about you? Where are you from?
San Francisco.
But where are you from?
Oh, I'm just American.
Really? You're Native American?
No, just regular American. Oh, well, I guess my grandparents are from England.
Oh, well. Hello, Governor! What's all this then? Top of the morning to you. Let's go sporty! Double, toil and trouble! Mind the gap! Beware Jack the Ripper! Bloody hell! Hip hip! Cheerio! I think your people's fish and chips are amazing.
You're weird.
Really? I'm weird? Must be a Korean thing.
Oh man, that's quite humorous.
So she ends it there and jogs off like, just.
I just we'll come back to that. I mean, when I saw this, D, it's so, I think, symbolic of the theory in how, his assumption is she's Asian. Mm-hmm. She's got to be an immigrant. She can't be from here. But his perception of himself being white.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm just a regular American.
Regular dude. I mean, what do you mean?
This is my country, right? And to flip that on
she
the
flipped
other
the script on him. That was hilarious.
Top of the morning to you.
Hello, Mike. That fish and chips are nice. But it's no different from us even being black folks. I've been out several times and people ask me, "Hey, do you play basketball?"
Exactly.
You must have played sports, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I did, but it's like being tall and black and athletic physique. You get that stereotype placed on you just based on. The frame and the DNA.
Absolutely. And symbolic interaction theory analyzes society by addressing the subjective meaning that people impose on object, events, and behavior. Subjective meanings are given primacy because it is believed that people behave based on what they believe and not just on what is objectively true. Mm-hmm. Isn't that, what they believe? But I mean, this idea, I mean, we can even bring this into the political realm in the fact that people believe, so much in, what's coming out of 45's mouth, right? Mm. Although it's not true, right?
At all.
But they observe him in their eyes as being strong, right? As being truthful, right? As changing up government, right? And they see this, and although it is false, because of this observation, because I identify with his behavior, because they have, in a lot of ways, stereotyped him too. We would say stereotypical way, and probably a very positive way for them. They believe it, right?
But they're pointing the fingers back and forth. And so the media is saying, you know, Trump's lying, and everybody's coming out and catching him in lies. And then Trump's saying, you know, the media's lying. They're reporting false stories, and they don't know what's going on. And so he cut off all the meetings that, you know, that were open, I guess, to the public. And so that kind of raised some suspicion. But we don't know what's going on because, you know, it's his side versus, you know, the media. And so it makes it really difficult, man.
It goes on to say that thus society is thought to be socially constructed through human interpretation. People interpret one another's behavior, and it is these interpretations that form the social bond. These interpretations are called the definition of the situation. So this, think for a moment, and I mean, this is an area that you specialize in, this area of social constructs, right? And how we have determined in our society, really, for the most, what is right and wrong, who is good and bad, who's a hero and a villain, what is acceptable and unacceptable, right? But they're all socially construct, right? And some of them are good, right? I mean, you run a red light, you might hit somebody and kill somebody. So some of them are rules that, you know, we all agree on. But what about when we get to dealing with one another? Like your example, oh, you must have played sports, right? What's implied in that, right? And where is that derived from?
Well, obviously, most athletes are black people, athletic build, you know, probably same muscle structure and everything, and look like me. And just so based off that general observation, you know, it's easy for that brain to make the connection to this person, you know, athlete, football player, track star, whatever. But rather I was a, you know, big major musician, or, you know, I was a professional diver, you know, they wouldn't have, if I turn around and tell somebody, you know what, no, you know, actually, you know, I'm an actual professional pianist. Go all around the world.
I'm an astronaut.
Right. You know, so like, oh, really?
Really?
That's interesting.
Because now you have changed for them, that kind of social interaction, right? So they have to interact with you differently, right? When I say you're an athlete, then what follows with that is how I'm going to interact with you now. Okay.
Right. You know, I also, you know, I tried to use a little, I guess, paying attention, awareness, to figure out in my day to day how that was affecting me, or, the symbolic interactionism. There was a person who was spraying water on the road as we were going by, and he had a truck, just a basic white truck. He had on some little uniform, and he was stopping people in the middle of the street before he finished spraying the water, and then letting other people by. So even for myself, that person being some authority on the street, you know, I obeyed that law of life, you know, to go ahead and stop. But on the flip side, you know, these things also have been used as a deception. So that cat on the street acting like he's somebody holding up the road and, you know, jump out and steal all your money. You know, these things can also be used in ways that are negative too, you know, because we give them so much power. The uniforms and these other things that we give people as roles in society.
Absolutely. And we're going to get into specifically how this plays out. But I think it's so important that you talk about kind of the symbolism, right? The police officer, the teacher, right? The principal, the boss, right?
And all of your approaches are different each round.
Exactly. You react differently, or you feel like there is a acceptable way of behavior with a certain individual, right? I walk into the store, I got my pants sagging, got my ball cap flipped to the side, you know, and you might look at me and say, well, that guy's going to probably steal something, right? Because now you're going to be watching me, right? Now I might be a, you know, who knows, man? I might be anybody, right? I could sing in the church choir, right? Okay, I lead the church choir.
You could be the pastor.
You remember the day and everything, right? But I'm dressed down today, and I come in there, and all of a sudden, because of not even your experience, DT, and this is where I'm critical of the social interaction theory, because it's, whatever your socialization is, you could never have been around black people or Latino people, but you have come to believe within your socialization process that he represent a thug, a thief, right? Not your experience, because it is I should say this. My criticism may be on, we would say pre versus post understanding of the theory. So, but once you understand it, you know that experience can change.
Right. Tenet 3
can change your perspective on that.
Right. That's like we talk about all the time. Having an experience is different than taking what you see on TV or what you have generalized in your mind about how what something's supposed to be can change your mind.
So you want to get into the details of this?
Yes, sir.
Folks, we're going to get into the details, and we will be right back.
This is Josh K.
And I am Leah Marie.
And when we listen to podcasts, we always listen to
One mic, one voice.
You can change the world, it's your choice.
Your choice.
Hey, this is your boy Frog. I'm here with Chris, Justin, and Philip, and we host Turn on the Game, the podcast. The show consists of 4 men commentating on the sports world. It's strictly opinion show. It's as if you were sitting on the couch watching a game with your boys.
And you can follow us on Twitter at @TurnOnThe_game. You can hit us up on our Facebook page at @TurnOnTheGame. And you can even follow us on Instagram at @TurnOnTheGame.
Or you can listen to us on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher by searching Turn on the Game.
You can email us at turnonthegame4@gmail.com.
Turn on the Game is sponsored by Blackened Studios, Oklahoma City's premier podcasting studio. Turn on.
This is Quraysh Ali, Lansana, poet, author, educator, and Oklahoma, and when I listen to podcasts, I'm on that one mic, one voice joint.
Welcome back. We have another comment.
Our good friend Eliza is back on the mic again. She said number 45 has a long rap sheet of racism and bigotry, yet supporters seem to not mind or care. It is racism in its purest form. To this exact comment right here, they had a guy stand up in front of some Trump supporters and say, look, what would it take for you not to vote for him again for a second term? If he done everything that, he's done so far, would you still support him? Most people raise their hand. Would you, still vote for him if he doesn't comply with any of the things he put forth that he said he was going to do for sure? Some other people, they raise their hand. So they said, what would it, they said, most people are going to vote for him no matter what he does. And so it's like, she's exactly right.
She is exactly right. I mean, and to be able to identify it as this just straight out racism, right? To not be in denial of what it is. And that's the problem with the macro level. And clearly we're not going to get, we're not going to be diverted by the comment, but the comment is relevant because on the macro level, we have a difficult time saying exactly, what Elijah said exactly, because it is racism. It is demagoguery. It is all of these things. But on the macro level, we don't want to do that because it's not politically correct, right? Let's get into the nuts and bolts of social interactionism.
Okay, so social interactionism was introduced by this guy named Herbert Bloomer. In his book, he wrote Symbolic Interactionism in 1937. Bloomer had 3 tenets outlined in his theory. One is that we act toward people and things based on the meaning we interpret from them.
Okay.
All right. Number 2, those meanings are the product of social interaction between people. And number 3 is meaning making and understanding is an ongoing interpretive process during which the initial meaning might remain the same, evolve slightly, or change radically. So people can change, right?
And that's the positive thing about all of this. People can change. And at the end, we're going to kind of wrap that up and really emphasize that as it correlates with experience. But what I will say is, this is a comment that we have from one of our listeners also that says about the younger generation and how they interact differently, and how the lack of person-to-person contact is detrimental to how we understand each other, right? If you think about it, I mean, growing up,
isolated.
I mean, you sitting in your room, you on social media, take that. Got you. You on social media, even if you're playing game, even if you're gaming online, you're not sitting down, one-on-one, mano-a-mano, having a conversation, learning. And this is a powerful point.
I got like quality of social experience.
This is a powerful point. Exactly. Quality of social experience. So if you are sitting behind, PlayStation 2, right? Or your social media computer. So what is they up to, bro? They 3, 4, 5, and 6.
4. Yeah. You put them on PlayStation 2 though. Took it back to the early 2000s.
If you sitting with a Sega Genesis, and you remember Sega?
Wow, yeah, I do.
Yeah, take you back, right? If you sitting on one of those and you only interact with the television and the images that you see of people, what do you think your perception will be of behavior in the real world? And believe it or not, as weird as that sounds, D, it is like that for some people.
What's funny is that for my childhood, it kind of was boring if you didn't have somebody to play with. I mean, like physically, like somebody in the room, like we didn't have online back then, but if somebody, couldn't pick up the joystick with you, it was kind of like, man, it's kind of whack,
Yeah.
I'm bored of this.
No, you got online gaming now.
Maybe calling each other the N-word all day
all
long.
the time. In the electronic age, I mean, this comment goes on and talks about, I think social media and cell phones, et cetera, are amazing, but I think it has changed human interaction. Takes a lot from communication. Words and gestures are becoming a lost art from texting. I mean, it's true. It's true, man. I mean, when you can see a person, see their response, right? See their body language. Get this, 70% of all communication is body language, right? So when I'm looking, you may be saying something, your body language is saying something totally different to me, right?
People
and I interpret
at
that
me like that. Like, you don't even know you're giving yourself away.
Exactly. Exactly.
I thought I was just playing it off.
It's the interpretation of what you are saying. So therefore, we are in a different age that these, if we want to say, sociologists could have never imagined, right? But the impact that this social interaction has on our daily lives when it comes to race, when it comes to race. You know, look at what we see in the media today when it comes to, let's just pick, you know, just random. Okay. Black males, right?
Randomly.
What if you did not live around black people? What would you think when you walked up on a black man? No interaction, right? Grew up, rural place. You're off to college. You run up on a black guy. What would be your thoughts on the black man?
It's kind of strange.
Dangerous.
Scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thug.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what positive image do we have out there? Oh, he plays sports. Okay. You know,
athletic.
Yeah. Yeah. He can run on the track field, but still, you know, still an angry person, maybe.
That's how he deals with it.
Because that's what the picture has been painted by the mass media. Race, gender. Think about gender. Think about what women deal with every day. You see a woman dress with a tight outfit on, right? You start making analysis of that, right?
And it's automatic.
It's automatic.
You know, like the mind just go there.
It's automatic. Why? Because
it's implanted really deeply.
Because it is a social construct. We have been, you know, and the article, and we really don't bring out this article, talks about, and I thought this is just brilliant, how a child is born, right? And say like now we can know the sex of the baby, right? So we find out, oh, you know, Susie's pregnant and she's having a girl. So we don't go out and buy the girl blue or black. We go buy pink, purple, you know, purple,
fuchsia,
right? We black with flowers on it. So already we are conditioning this child because gender is socially construct. It's what we decided as a society. What is going to go up? Somebody might say, well, hold up now. God created man and woman. Okay. We're not going to have a theological discussion here. But the point is that we are from the beginning, we are socially constructing human beings to play certain roles in our society. And then when that child grows up, we expect certain type of behavior. I mean, what happened to Prince? His mother thought he was gay. She was outraged. So she started giving him Playboy magazines at the age of 10. You see what I'm saying? Where we watched that at, bro?
In the dungeon.
I
just gave it that name. What are you calling it?
Oh man, you can call it what you want to call it.
It's a nice room, man. Look, the boy got an 85,000 inch TV. I mean, you never seen something so take up the whole wall.
I thought Richard was supposed to be there, but he said we wasn't cool enough to hang out with him.
I got surround sounds in the floorboard.
The floorboard.
I'm like, wow, is it coming from under me?
Right.
Wow.
But you know, when you think about it.
But no, listen though, like to your point about, you know, the people, especially children, all these little things you kind of place on them before they get a chance to decide for themselves. I seen this lady had taken a picture of baby just like fresh out the womb, right? Got thundered down from the beanie to the shirt to the onesie, all of it thunder.
Basketball.
And I'm like, wow, like you don't even get a choice, right?
Oh yeah, and it's true, right?
And when
it's
he grow
true.
up, he's gonna like hate the thunder. And his mom gonna wonder why. It's like, what's wrong, son? Why you not a Thunder fan?
You came out with Thunder gear on, but that's the truth because we began to
like basketball
because we were right. So what we do in turn, we put that on the younger generation. So we expect a certain type of behavior. So in other words, if you're supposed to act like a girl, right? It's be in the house, you know, baking, you know, wearing dresses, right? Huh? We're supposed to be, because you're a girl. But a boy, oh yeah, you go outside, get dirty, get this, get that. And what does that have to do really with the individual? Like a girl can't go out and get dirty and wear pants and hit a ball or play basketball. But you know, we still have these archaic way of looking at gender.
She got to be delicate.
She's got to be delicate.
Sweet.
Get her nails done. Huh? She got to be high maintenance.
I don't want no cave woman.
And culturally, when you think about it, right? We respond. If I said to you, well, just think about, Hispanic culture, you would think, hey, South America, Mexican, Puerto Rican food, blah, 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 salsa music. We make all of these determinations. And then when we meet a person, we automatically judge them accordingly. Right. And who knows? They might not like any of that. Right. Because at the end of the day, we're individuals, and it's much more complex than that. Right. When we come back, folks, we're going to look at the modern impacts of the social interaction theory. Hey, you can pipe in. We want to hear from you.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. We off the barbershop thing, so don't be scared. I ain't gonna cut no KKK in your head unless you pay me enough money. Nah, I wouldn't do that anyway.
Come on.
Folks, listen, we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Tiffany Hill, host of Authentic Conversations, a weekly motivational podcast where we discuss matters such as self-worth, relationships, parenting, professional development, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. You can find me on Facebook at Authentic Conversations by Tiffany Hill, on social media at @th_authentic, and you can also subscribe to Authentic Conversations on iTunes and Podbeans, and the show is also available on blackenstudios.com. I look forward to connecting with you, and remember, to live authentically is the ultimate form of happiness.
This is DT of the One Mic, One Voice podcast. Just want to let you guys know you can go over to iTunes and search us at One Mic, One Voice, and be sure to rate and review our episodes. Let us know about any feedback that you have and what you enjoy about the episodes. Also, you can go over to Stitcher, where you can get the latest and freshest episodes of our podcast streamed directly to your smartphone or iPad. No downloading or syncing. How cool. Real smooth. Also, we just like to take the time to thank you for your time and for your energy and for spending time with us as we discuss the historical record of our time.
Welcome back. Man, I just want to just interject
from his latest album,
Cold Stone. Mike Coldstone.
Welcome back.
Nothing but smooth talk throughout the whole album. No music, just smooth talk. Get it today for $24.99. But man, hey, I have to talk about the paintings that Jamie did.
Oh, wow.
Man,
you really? Okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I do have the JPEGs for them, man. So we're gonna be printing some and signing them, and we want to send them out to our listeners. So listen, I want you to write us and let us know you want to get a couple of them, and we're gonna get them in your hands. Of course, we're going to offer them on our Patreon for our Patreon customer, man. But I just want to give some away free, man.
Yeah, that's always the best, man.
You know what I mean?
Just take that.
I just want to do something free, man, out of the kindness of the One Mic, One Voice show heart.
That's right.
So, just write us
about the money,
It's not about the money, man. It's all about principle.
I mean, we enjoy just even having a listening audience.
Absolutely.
We're touching people all around the world.
Absolutely. All I got is just one request. Don't use it as a dartboard. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah, that's something. Cause I know some folks want to get it like, yeah, send me one. I got my slingshot.
I ain't gonna buy a bundle of them. Brings us back to that original conversation. But anyway.
You're right. But seriously, we want to get one in your hands. So please you can just message us or send us on our podcast page or hit us up on Facebook.
As a matter of fact,
email.
First 5 people that send us out a request, 5 for free. That's it, right?
5 for free.
5 free. First 5 free.
First 5 free.
FFF.
First 5 free.
Yeah.
First 5 free. Say that 5 times.
First 5 free. First 5 free. First 5 free. First 5. I almost got it.
You almost got it. But we did have another comment though. I think we did.
Okay. Oh, Eliza, she's got the first one.
Oh, okay.
She already stuck her. She was that fast.
Man,
well, we just
listen,
talked.
And you know what? I'm glad she the first one.
I am too. We really do appreciate you. Okay. First, her comment was, I don't live near any black men, but when I see one in the city, I smile and strike up a conversation. Being social with people of all walks of life can be life-changing, educational, and fulfilling. We need to open our minds.
I mean, and really, what Elijah is talking about is really the conclusion of our show. So I'm going to hold that till we get there, because really what she's talking about is experience and entering into experience, right? And that changes how we perceive one another, right? That changes the stereotypical way of we think how we should respond to one another when we experience people differently. These modern impacts, discrimination. When you think about discrimination, D, you know, you think about blatant discrimination, covert, overt discrimination. But if let me tell you how this plays out. I get a resume, and again, folks, I think all names are beautiful. I'm just going to say that as a caveat. I think all names are beautiful, right? But if I get a resume that says something like Tanika, right? I mean, I think all names are beautiful. But that is going to indicate to me that this is probably somebody black, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then, so what I think is everything, exactly. Everything that comes along with that being black, right? So what we have to understand that each and every day, like you say, D, is automatic. It's automatic. I see something, John Smith. Well, it must be a white guy, right? I see some Trayvon, right? I'm like, yeah, that's black. That's a brother right there. Now it might work good for me if I'm black, but if I'm not, that comes with all types of connotation behind it, right? I mean, so the point is that we cannot base our stereotypical way of looking at larger groups upon individuals. In the social interaction, we have to fight against that as being a determinant of how we deal with each other, right? It may be a reference point, right? I mean, if I see a dude with a ski mask, like, coming my way, yeah, he might be ready to rob me. You know what I mean? Like, so I might want to use that as a frame of reference and go the other direction, right? But listen.
Across the street.
Yeah, but listen, if it's snowing out, right? It's heavily snowing out, and he's got a ski mask on, he's probably just covering his face,
But
folks.
it also could be a disguise, Mike.
It could be. It could be. It could be. I'm not going to, I'm just saying, looking at things different ways. Police brutality, right? But how do you feel when the cops pulled you over?
I mean, I feel like I can handle it in a safe way.
You feel safe?
Not that I feel safe,
okay,
but I feel confident that I'll be able to go home, if that makes sense.
Okay. The idea of not going home is difficult to conceptualize in the moment, right? Like, you don't think like, I'm about to die, right? So you think, yeah, in the end, I will probably go home or to jail, right? You don't think I'm going to die, right? But still, you think this is a pretty tense situation, right? I mean, like, this dude is behind me, pulled me over. He's walking up to my car. Everything comes along with what we have seen in the modern era, right? We've seen police officers ask for your ID, shoot you to death, right? We've seen you getting shot in the car, right? We've seen that, right? We've seen, you get out the car and the cop is yelling at you, grabbing at you, and starts to try to take you down, and he's choking you, and you're fighting, he shoots you and kills you, right? So we've seen all that. So all of that plays into like this, man, what is going to happen here, right? When the police officer just might be like, man, your tail lights out, dude. I just want you to know that, right? But as he walks up, you're thinking, oh man, this could really go wrong.
You don't know.
You don't know, right? I mean, so how we have dealt before with police, and I can tell you my experience with police officers, it's not going to go well. I can honestly say to you, I have never in my life, and I've probably been pulled over hundreds of times, right? For being black, not for speeding, not for doing anything illegal. I have been pulled over hundreds of times simply for being black. It has never went well for me. Not one time. Not one time did the officer say like, I just want to give you some ice cream or something, never has gone well for me. So when a cop pulls me over, all of that is in there, man.
And you know what's funny is that automatic thoughts go to, well, were you complying? Were you doing what the officer was telling you to do? Were you sitting in the car respectfully? And why do you have to ask those type of questions,
Yeah.
But that's
respect the officer.
Yeah.
Why do you have to tell black people to respect the officer? White kids don't grow up well, okay, let me sit you down, little Johnny. Okay.
First step one.
You're going to have to say, sir and ma'am.
Put your hands on the wheel.
Make sure they see your hands, little Johnny. Because if not, you might die. They don't have that conversation, right?
Don't roll down the window unless he asks you.
Don't raise your voice, little Johnny. Don't do it. You know how you yell around the house? Don't do it. You might die. No, they don't have that conversation.
Have your ID and stick it to the window.
Have it, man. Have it in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Man, maybe I should just get behind the wheel with my ID just in my mouth, man. It's right here. ID registration.
How you gonna tell them though? Like,
yeah, folks, listen. It's it's not laughable, but if you didn't laugh, you would cry. Immigration. We saw the video, right? Mm-hmm. The natural inclination is to say, "Where you from?" Right? Well, you can't be an American. Really, what he was saying is you just can't. You are Asian. You cannot be from here. Where you from? What do you mean? I was born in L.A. No. Where you really from? What do you mean? Where I'm really from? And I was born here. Before I was born.
Right. I was in space.
Exactly. I was in. I don't know. But it is so true, man. It is so true. Where are you from? That is such a loaded question because it denies the very fact that you could possibly be an American. Like that is such a special class of people that you have to be. I'm just an irregular American. Well, you're Native American. No, I'm not Native American, but they don't matter. What do you mean? We took their country. Yeah. We took their culture. They're on reservations. What do you mean? I'm an American. I mean, the hubris.
The original OGs.
They were the original. They were the original. But when you think about that, right, D? So as we wind down here and we think about this thing called social interaction theory. Man, how can we better relate to one another?
I think that having important social groups, that are positive minded. I mean, I think that make up a big deal about who people become and what decisions they make concerning right and wrong, because depending on what group you're a part of, influence your action in everyday situation. And so if I'm a part of groups that love people, that try and open up and be honest and realistic about our reality, then I'm going to grow from those relationships, as opposed to everything I've seen and done before is the truth, no matter what anybody else says. You know, and so as the third tenet says, is that, you know, there's a capability there that people will change, or that the mind frame can change, that the situation can be flipped. And so with that in mind, I think it's important just to know that it's possible.
Exactly. I agree. Let me say this, and I concur with everything that you say. Let me say this. Test what you think you know. Test what you think you know about an individual. What that means is you got to interact. If I think that you might be a stereotypical person, test that theory. Have a conversation with them. Spend some time with them. Because guess what, folks? I'm not going to fault you for what you think, because it's the environment in which you have come up. You had no choice, right? You were born into that family. You were born into that community. You were born into that state. You went to that school. I can't fault you for that. If a guy grows up, DT, in the most redneck place there is, and goes to a high school with no black people,
social group,
and he ends up at OU, I'm not mad at him for how he came up. He had no choice in that. But what I'm saying to you is test what you think you know. And so when you interact with a Native American, test that. Learn from that. Grow from that. And then you're going to find out, man, that was bullshit. You know what I mean? I mean, what dude was saying, man, he's cool. She's cool. She's just like me. That's where the interaction, this interaction theory, this social interaction theory comes into place. When we test what we think we know. None of us are at fault for where we were born. Who socialized us? You know, it's like a baby could say, hey, look, I don't want blue. I want pink. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't do that. And so we need to understand as adults, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the dude that walked in the barbershop and said, cut the Confederate flag in my head. I'm not mad at him. That's what he know. But guess what? Classroom should have been in session.
This is what I know.
Absolutely. He should have walked out of there saying, man, you can't do that.
Ain't a good idea. Anyway.
No, you can't do that to them black folks. They're not going to deal with that. No, he walked out of there saying, gotcha.
Man, you know what's funny is that if someone had hurt him, had he walked out of that place, they would have been responsible for that in some way.
Who, the barbershop?
Yeah, if somebody, for instance, threw a rock upside his head, seeing him out there with the flag carved in, you know, didn't know him from whoever, but.
Yeah. You know, well, again, I'm not going to condone violence, so I'm going to stay away from that. You know, might have been a better outcome. But anyway, you know what I mean? If you got the balls to walk into a black barbershop and request that, I mean, man, I wish I'd have been in that barbershop. I will never be in that barbershop, by the way, but I wish I had been in there that day. I would have had a whole lot to say. D, it's been a great show, man. I'm here to tell you, we have to. It's all about going back to the experience. And I want to challenge our listeners as we go into the after party for a minute. I want to challenge our listeners to truly, man, test what you think you know. You know, I mean, it's nothing wrong with having a conversation and getting to know someone in a respectful way. I guarantee you, the stereotypical way of looking at
it
one
help
another.
You build up your brain too,
man. It's a muscle,
a strengthening exercise.
It is a muscle, man, and that's the only way we're going to grow as a society, folks. You know, and as we continue to dive into these deep topics, you know, we have to glean something from it. So what I'm going to say to you is test what you think you know, because history will speak of us. Somewhere in the distant future, a scribe will reach down deep into the archives of our time. And what will she find? Will she discover that we overcame our differences? Will she find that out of many, we became one? Or will she find that we solved nothing and remain a divided peoples. Yes,
history will speak of us.
If we try, we can be the change that's in our lives. All we gotta do is work together. We gotta raise our children better. We gotta stop the hate, and spread the love.
One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. Your choice.
Today's broadcast is being brought to you by Blacken Studios. To learn more about Blacken Studios, please visit them at blackenstudios.com or visit them on their Facebook page, Blacken Studios. Today's broadcast is also being brought to you by Perry Publishing and Broadcasting. To learn more about Perry Publishing and Broadcasting, please visit their website at perrypublishingandbroadcasting.net. The opinions of the One Mic, One Voice show do not reflect the views of Blacken Studios or Perry Publishing and Broadcasting. Thank you for downloading the One Mic, One Voice show.